Hey guys. Oh Christ. They're still talking. I'm in the Legion right now, talking to investigators. I'm talking to an old Christ I used to have from 1213. Mr. Christie, he's there. And a woman investigator, she's there. And CBC, my innocence, just told him everything. The whole chain of events, and I got most of it. So this gonna be a long video again, so I gotta tell you now. Way back in the Loogie Man days, 2 years ago, this whole process happened over 2 years. Okay. I can't tell you that yet. So, I make trains usually every night for my train set in St. Lucian. I make it with my hands out of nothing. Okay, easy as pie. Easy. I can make a vehicle. I can make guns. I made the illusion room. People saw this and they knew I had special talent with my seeds. Okay. Now all this I have no idea about. No, over the 2 year period, I had no idea my spirit was doing this, my soul. I seen pieces of it and concluded, wow, that's neat. But I never saw the big picture. Because you gotta remember, I was dealing with Loogie Man, I was dealing with Christine, I was sex, drugs, rock and roll, and fucking everything, and all I wanted to do was make trains. So as I was making trains, the whole time, Loogie Man, Christ, Spider Christ, was taking care of me. I was dealing with that trauma in my head, but my soul was doing something else. This is what blows me away, is the fact that you really don't know how much your soul is doing out of the scope of your brain. Holy shit. I thought I was on top of it all. I wasn't. I thought I was on top. I followed and knew what the hell was going on. Holy shit, you don't believe this. So, when I was with Loogie Man, that's where Loogie Man was stealing my trains over time when no one was looking. He stole, this is what, one day I was walking through the market in the Illusion. Not St. Illusion Market. St. Illusion Market is huge. But this is a different market in the Illusion. And if it was down here on Earth, I don't know, but it was a town in the Illusion. I'm walking through there. This kid had a Via, Pullman Standard Via from the 80s on his train set. And he was selling his trains or whatever. And this is when I just started making trains, like good, really good. Well, I saw that. I saw it. And I even reported it on here. Just a little piece. And this is 3 years ago. And from that, I met Christine. I thought Christ brought Christine to me so I could have a fake girlfriend. Okay? The reason I needed a fake girlfriend was to keep all the gay guys off me. And my Tina, the girls, they all knew that. So I accepted it, right? But Loogie Man ended up raping the shit out of me and stealing my seeds. That comes in later. But when I saw the kid with the Via car in the illusion, playing with it, selling it, I'm like, how in the fuck? How does this guy? Some other kid likes Via stuff, and I was gonna talk to him, but I didn't. Then I woke up, went to the bathroom or something. But what kept on going was my soul. Ended up talking to this kid. Turns out he bought it off of some guy for his train set. Loogie Man. Loogie Man was stealing my shit and selling it in the black market. Then I knew Loogie Man, but I didn't know. Turns out Loogie Man owned Christine. He was one of those fucking death angels. He wasn't pimping her out, he owned her. How she became, how did that? And I was hanging out with her, but she was working for Loogie Man because he owned her. We got to talking. She told me things. Loogie Man stole my trains, sold them on the black market. Christine got caught with via hep coaches, the colorful ones, and she stole 3 of them. Christ caught her, and I got them back. And all this shit happened. Don't you do that, Christine. Okay, they were pretty. I just wanted to see them. That was their excuse. Then I had a dog at that time. She pulled the teeth out of the dog. Christine did. And she wanted to make a dog out of a cat. That was fucking brutal. And the dog I had was an ex cop dog. So the cop dog knows you're his new person to take care of, and the dog would attack any threats. And so it lived with us, and it was a good dog. I wanted it, but it died so many times fighting off these bad guys, Spider-Man and everything, Spider Crace, that I had to give it up. So they took it away. Anyway, Loogie Man was working with Christine. This is all spirit world. Turns out Christine ended up telling me, and she wanted to free her friends. The Loogie Man didn't own her friends. Some other guy did. They're all interested in me. Not the other guy, but Loogie Man. These people were all interested in me because I could create things. So between Christine and Loogie Man, I had at that time revealed from myself that I could make things. And one of the things I knew was a piece of ET technology. Now, this one piece of ET technology that I popped out of my head somehow, I don't even know how I do it, but whatever I want, my subconscious pushes it out my crown chakra, and I got it. So, stupid things like cigarettes and beer and trains, toy trains, and food from every kind of food. As long as I've tasted it, I can make it. And the illusion. Consciously here, too. But that took years. But I can do this Basically, no one can except the higher ups on Near 16, Christ, and people like that. Even Christ can't do half the shit I can do. So what the thing is they knew Christine saw me when the ETs came, and I had all this trouble with the ETs in my life with Christ. I produced a component and I gave it to Christ, or I was using it, but they took it away from me, and it's top secret now. Totally fucking gone, top secret. And they got it all in this big room. All the shit and knowledge I gave them from the ETs that I had, that I knew of. And I didn't even know in my head all this shit existed. I gave them maps, star charts, maps, where the fucking ETs, different races were, all on this computer. Not on a computer, but I don't know how, but I got a whole room full of ET stuff. Top secret shit. Instant evolution. I can't even get into it. I have to go with another Christ or something. And even then, I don't understand it. There's like this. I dumped out a database from my head, from my subconscious, to Christ. So let's say, this is one of the things I thought was really cool. You're on your computer, you get your mouse, you're on your computer. You bring up this page, and it has, it's sort of like a race, a species, and it goes, and you scroll down the page, it has little boxes that say the species. You click the box, and all the information of that species, ET species, is in there. I would love, I could sit there for fucking weeks reading this stuff. All this came out of my head because Christ was pressing me to reveal it. I never knew I had it. I don't know what. And then my subconscious says, this was supposed to be released upon my death. Boom! I just fucking gave all the knowledge. So, when that happened, you scroll down, you click the species you want to know about. It tells you where in space they are. This is going to be a long fucking video. But it tells you where in space they are, their domain in space, outer physical space. It tells you everything about them, that species. And there are thousands, maybe more. I don't know. I was scrolling through it one day here, and I was like, oh, god damn. That's just species, not subspecies or factions of species. And shit you wouldn't believe. Shit you can't even dream up. Anyway, they put this great big room together and stuck it all in there, and it's locked up tight. Anyway, and maps and all kinds of shit. One of them things I gave was either a series of components. I think what it was a communication device in subspace. So when you go down into subatomic, you get subspace. I've seen it. I made videos about it. There's a communication device that the ETs gave me, and I made a video about it. It's one of my earliest ones. I know some of you guys that follow me remember it. That device. But there's other components to it, but I didn't tell anybody that. So I don't think it would work either. But it lights up and looks pretty, and it does things, and boom, boom, boom. And so everybody believes this is a real deal. And it is, but you need another piece to do it. Which Christ has in the room or somewhere. I don't know if it's in that special room or not. But anyway, Louis Man or Christine wanted her girls back, her friends. I went to see them. I went with her to see them. And I went in there. They were guarded by two guys. And I was pretending I was looking for a piece of ass. But I wasn't. From what I heard. Like my CBC just told this to the Legion dude, the commander of the Legion, or the Christ of the Legion, some important guy. Anyway, I'm listening to this. I'm listening to it, writing it, because I just woke up again because I got no sleep in the night. He says that, or Christine, or CBC said to him that, and this is the story, that I wanted a piece of ass, or how much for all these girls, right? But they already knew that I was. How did they know that I had all this technology and special shit? Loogie Man knew them in the illusion. So they told him, they said, oh, I want that space technology, a spaceship technology. They call it ET spaceship. They wanted a spaceship. I said, well, all I got is this one piece. And you can have it if you give me them girls. I don't know if you can use it or not, but it's ET tech. Nothing more than a fucking pop can with lights on it. A beer can with lights on it. Basically, it was, you couldn't do shit with it. But it was actually a piece of ET tech. They said, nope, it's not enough. I'm like, you kidding me, dude? You kidding me? He goes, I want so much money a month for a certain amount of time, and then you can keep them. I said, all right, deal. So I got the ET tech. I just popped it out of my head. My soul gave. I didn't see any of this. I don't know, but gave him the ET tech. He gave me the girls. I have to make monthly payments on the girls until I do the contract. So that was that part. There was 14 10-year-olds. Christine was one of them. She wasn't 10. She was like 25 or something. Oh, my neighbors are at it again. So from there, we go to time passes. Let me see, I suppose. Back to Loogie Man. So Loogie Man took my seeds. I had to make a deal with Loogie Man. I sold it. I didn't even know that. I think I tried to get Christine back by knowledge. And I said, look, you can suck off my seeds, take the knowledge, but you give me Christine, right? And that's how I ended up with Christine. Now, what comes into play along these lines, there are other Christs that were involved with this. It was big. It went right up to the top of the fucking food chain. These other Christs were involved in the black market of children and other things. And Loogie Man was a part of that. So, Loogie Man loves his knowledge. He actually don't learn anything himself. Okay, he just steals it from other people or gets it off of me. So somehow we bargained out with Christine there that he could have the knowledge from my seeds. But I don't really know why. I mean, oh, for Christine, yeah, that's why. Because I like Christine. She's really cool. but she wanted her friends back. The other kids that they owned, there's 14 of them. So, okay, I just learned this and I wrote it down in short form, so I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I'm reading here. Yeah, let me just finish that. As that was going on, I got Christine. But in my life, unknown to Christine and Loogie Man, was the priestess. She lived in St. Lucian, but she was taking care of me my whole life. I didn't know that from fucking Daniel Boone days. But she's fucking schizoid, fucking nuts. So you can never really know where she's coming from. 1 minute she loves you, the next minute she hates you, and everything. And this is before the big priestess wars started. Holy shit. Turns out with that, how she got involved with. I don't even fucking know. Hold on. Let me read. Oh, okay. So priestess made a deal with Loogie Man that maybe it was, I don't know what it was, but Loogie Man didn't own Christine, but they made a deal to get knowledge, and maybe that is what happened with my seeds. Since he was taking care of me, Christ was taking care of me before I kicked his ass. Somehow he got the knowledge of my seeds and made a deal. I don't think I made the deal. I think it was Christine that made the deal. I'm not fucking priestess. Sorry. That made the deal for the technology, because I gave the technology to the guys in the black market in the illusion for the 14 kids. They're free, done, gone. I had to pay them off. That's where I ended up stealing. I ended up stealing my own trains and giving them either to Loogie Man or the priestess so they could learn. But it all came down to my fucking seeds. So I think I had a vision one day when I was fighting Loogie Man of him took a couple of my seeds, popped in his mouth and swallowed them. Then he turned around and puked up thousands of them. And I'll never forget that vision I had. And then I knew what Loogie Man was all about, and the war began between me and Loogie Man. So as me and Loogie Man were fighting, he wanted to know, and I wanted protection from Loogie Man, because I done shot Loogie Man. How much physicals in the spirit world? I beat the fuck out of him. Super Crace, one of them, Super Crace, took me and him out, and we beat the shit out of each other. But that's where I learned Screen Dreams, how they do that. And what he does is when you go to sleep, you're dreaming a dream, and the next thing you know, you got a penis in your fucking face or wherever. But you don't see that. You see a pretty girl. You're kissing a pretty girl. And all of a sudden you see a fucking penis. Well, you wake up, you see penis. But I didn't learn it that way. Well, I did. But I was dreaming one night. I was kissing a pretty girl, and all of a sudden I'm getting all aroused. I'm getting ready to go. And all of a sudden the dream stops. Literally, just stop. Everything's happening. Stop. And then it was pulled away. And my subconscious stopped the dream, moved to the side, and there was a real dream, me riding a bike or whatever behind it. And then in my subconscious, told me That's how they fucking do it. So they give you a bullshit dream, meanwhile they're fucking you up the ass. And that shit don't happen in my world. Instant fucking war. And he's been doing it to me for weeks. But I didn't know, man. And just because he violated the Christ, that was it. And violated me. Fuck. Anyway, that happened. But he wanted to know secrets. That scream dream was a good one. That's a fucking secret. You gotta learn that shit. Or steal it. Fuck. So I put Lugia Man owned the priestess. Knowledge from the seeds. So I don't think he owned her, but he was working with her. And maybe he had some dirt on the priestess. And that's why she was in me a lot of the time. So anyway, it turns out that during the whole process of selling the ET tech to the black market, I guess, and this big fuck sicko, Chris wanted to know whether any other people involved. And he said, yeah. I said, yeah. That's what got me fucking scared. There are other Christs in there doing it. And Christine said they're called the Enterprise. The Enterprise. And it's a Christian organization full of priests and Christs. She don't know who all the players are, but they're in there. The Serpent. And they had ties with the black market and the girls and everything and the ET tech. So it went way up beyond my soul's head. I could probably go there, but I didn't want to push it. I spent 2 years in this fucking thing, and they've been stealing my shit. And I wanted something for it. I wanted the fucking girls freed. So I freed them. I just ended up paying the last bill on their fucking contract with the dream I had last night, paying that guy. Christ was there to witness the whole fucking thing in the dream. But it wasn't a dream. It was actually me fucking paying off the fucking snakehead of whatever the fuck they're called, the death angel. I was paying off the rest of the death angel. And he's just a fucking chump. I could kick his ass in a fucking heartbeat. Ain't nothing. But they got him to do the fucking work. Anyway, which leads right up the ladder to Christ. And then players. The Enterprise. Anyway, plus it leads to delusion. Oh, the black market of child trafficking, all that. And so I had to time it. And I heard my innocence say, Rich had to time it. Or, my soul, spirit, whatever. I had to time it perfectly. And it was time. Because I couldn't get caught at all. I had to finish the deal. I wanted to free them all. But I realized some point along that line, I'm getting faces and names from people talking. It's mostly from Christine. So Christine was cool. She gave me a lot of information. Somehow, Priestess and Loogie Man made a deal where she, always that way, right? They always end up owning your ass. So she ended up making a deal for something, knowledge. It's a knowledge deal. Bridges seeds knowledge. Priestess wanted that knowledge. So she was stealing shit from me. I don't know, fucking trains. But she was working me, and she was already in me. So Fucking Loogie Man's like, yes, I got access to Rich. I just gotta make a deal with the priestess and I get all this shit. And that's what he did. And priestess knew all this was going on. But I also, I guess, turns out, I made a fucking deal. I ended up stealing my own trains and giving them to Loogie Man to sell. Well, the kid, where I saw in the market 2 fucking years ago, had my fucking Via train. And he was playing with it and trying to sell it. Jesus Christ. You don't fucking, you think you know your own self. You think you know your own soul. All this going on. So it all came down to knowledge from the seeds. So when Loogie Man, as soon as I exposed Loogie Man for raping me and all that shit, as soon as he was gone out of my life, after the investigators proved that I'm right, boom, they proved other things, but they don't know who the huge players are. That's who they want, the head guys, and to stop the whole thing. And that's what they're doing right now. You know this before it goes on the fucking news. So, and the news is they're documenting the whole goddamn thing. The news. It's not like news here. Like they take the news from here and you can watch it on CNN there if you pay for it. But they have their own St. Lucia News. I forgot what they're called. But there's a lot of different news stations. Well, this one is Christ oriented. What's Christ doing? So he's got a deal. You can't release nothing. You can't fucking say nothing because we're doing some heavy duty shit. But we want you here to document everything. To release it to the public when we're done. So that's where the news comes in. Yeah. So all the fucking trains I made, half of them were bootlegged out. Bootlegging trains. So like Alcoholics Anonymous. You don't believe how many people like trains and other things like that. There's a huge market on it. Bigger than I knew. Anyway. I couldn't even believe it. The Enterprise. Turns out one of these guys was a Christian guy up there in the Enterprise. Me and Christine Christine gave me his name, and his name was Jim Bean. Yeah, Jim Bean. Yeah. And in some way, the priestess, Loogie Man, put the priestess, and it's still going on now. Somehow he weaved a way to get the priestess, who was already in me, to work me, to give her my secrets from a deal I made between me and her from a long time ago. That's why she was in me. Loogie Man found out, made a deal with her to give her the information, she give it to him. And that's why she fucking put a fucking porthole in my head. And I said, no goddamn way. Started attacking with guns. Full on fucking war. And that was last spring. Right after Christmas, actually, somewhere around there. And Loogie Man, I guess Tina's saying she can't fucking believe all this went on. She didn't even know it. I was doing it. I was doing all this. She suspected. They all suspected something ain't right. Where were all those trains disappearing? I was fucking giving them the fucking priestess was stealing them. And I was giving them away, stealing out of my own bank account to keep this fucking play going and pay off the girls. Fuck. So I still got more to tell you, but that is what happened. So for 14 girls, I had to pay off their contracts, and give this guy a piece of secondhand space technology that was worth fucking millions, but they're too fucking stupid. And then, when everything was almost perfect, I exposed it all in the drain. And from what I understood, it was pretty fucking good. I made sure my hands were clean the whole goddamn time, as clean as they can get. I worked it all. I guess that's what they say, because the Legion guy and the lawyers that are there, and not lawyers, but Crace and Priest, they all having this big powwow with me, and they say you're pretty much clean so far, unless we find something else. I'm like, well, and then CBC goes, now Rich did the best he can because he don't want any fucking problems, stuff like that. 1 second. I better take this. Talk to you later, guys.